8:47. We have lots lined up for you, a comprehensive look at the stories that are making headlines here and beyond. My name is Linda Alela. Before then, let's take a look at the highlights. Top on news. Families affected by Embakasi gas explosion on Thursday night receive relief funds. This as detectives continue to hunt down the owner of the gas plant. President Ruto is on with his development agenda in Kakamega and Vihiga counties. Also, hundreds of Kambu local residents protest, demanding for allocation of 25 acres of land, saying the lease by Kambu Golf Club has expired. And Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi assures Kenyans of food security. All right, and we get straight to it as we also ask that you interact with us. The hashtag is NewsNow, and the National Environment Management Authority, that is NEMA, has asked for officials to step aside to pave way for investigations on the licensing of the Embakasi plant. The four include the Director of Environmental Compliance and Acting Deputy Director of Compliance. Two other officers from the Environment Impact Assessment (EIA) were equally suspended. These were the Senior Environmental Officer and the Head of Environmental Impact Assessment. At the same time, President William Ruto has ordered for the arrest of everyone involved in setting up of the LPG gas plant in Embakasi that exploded on Thursday night. The President was speaking while in his development tour in Western Kenya.
Kule Nairobi, juzi kumetokea mlipuko wa mambo ya gesi na wananchi wengi wameumia kwa sababu ya uzembe na ulaghai na mambo ya ufisadi ya officers wa serikali. Kuna watu wameenda wakaweka leseni kwa residential area mahali wananchi wanakaa, wanahatarisha maisha ya wananchi. Nimeambia wizara, wale watu ambao wamehusika kutoa hiyo leseni mahali ambapo hapafai, hawa watu waondoke kazini leo na wapelekwe jela. Ama mnasema namna gani? Kwa sababu hawa watu wanajua ya kwamba walikatazwa, waliambiwa wasipatiane hiyo leseni, lakini kwa hongo na ukora na mambo ya kukosa nidhamu wameenda wakaissue license. Now we have a problem in our hands. I want to say, for the avoidance of doubt, the fellows, the government officials who issued licenses for gas installations in residential areas when it was very clear that it was the wrong thing to do, but because of incompetence and corruption, they issued licenses. Today we have injuries. We have Kenyans who have died. Those fellows who are involved in this, the ministry must immediately take action against them, and they must be dismissed and they must be prosecuted for what the crimes they have committed. Ama namna gani jameni?
And it's still in the same breath, families and individuals who were affected by the Embakasi explosion, more so those held at Embakasi Social Hall, are expected to receive relief foods. Humanitarian organizations, in collaboration with the government, are expected to gather data to establish the total number of people that are affected. Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Arid and Semi-Arid Lands, Penina Malonza, has arrived at the scene, and equally the government spokesperson is on ground as well, speaking to this matter. So let's cross over there and listen in.
Of those affected by this inferno. The collaboration between the Kenya Red Cross and UNFPA has been instrumental in providing additional support, and this included the supply of 300 boxes of sanitary towels, 1,500 undergarments, 100 mama kits and 100 dignity kits, which are essential for personal hygiene and comfort. They have also provided 40 beds, 663 blankets, 663 mosquito nets, 663 jerry cans, 330 bed sheets, and 160 pillows, which will ensure that the victims have the necessary bedding and personal items to maintain a semblance of normalcy in these trying times. Further, the Ministry of Health has distributed 10 trauma kits across various hospitals, including Kenyatta National Hospital, 3 Mbagathi 2, Mama Lucy 2, and Komarok Hospital 1, in order to ensure that medical needs of the injured are actually promptly met. In addition, fellow Kenyans, the medical supplies that have been given by the ministry is also coordinating patient referrals together with the Kenya Red Cross and the provision of blood products. And we are calling for people who can donate blood, especially at Kenyatta National Hospital, offering psychosocial support and ensuring nutrition support for lactating mothers. The number of medical personnel has been increased in order to provide adequate care to the victims. The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, MITI, is also addressing the economic impact of the tragedy by focusing on the needs of the 72 business units, including kiosks for hustlers such as Mama Mbogas that were destroyed in the incident. This approach highlights the government's commitment to economic recovery alongside human welfare and security. Further, security and logistical coordination by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and our National Police Service has been paramount, and we must really commend the police because they were here, led by Francis Kamau. I know now there is Mr. Kimeto. We really commend you, and also the DCC, led by Mr. Mwaura. We really must appreciate you. Their involvement has ensured a safe and orderly environment for the ongoing relief efforts, which is crucial for the efficiency and effectiveness of the response operations. They will
Well, we guarantee to bring you more details as to that developing story as and when we get to hit the editorial desk. And now the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, has urged President William Ruto to repeal the oppressive taxes in order to give reprieve to Kenyans. Speaking in Jumuiya Conference Center in Limuru, the leaders noted that Kenyans are straining to earn a living. Led by NCCK Secretary General, that is Canon Chris Kinyanjui, council members called upon the executive arm of government to uphold the constitution and enhance a mutual working relationship with other arms of government.
One of them being our nation, even today, as we've done the past.
And attend. Thank you very much.
The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. We created separately to protect checks and balances to ensure justice. However, the executive is progressively and visibly tearing down these boundaries, resulting in loss of confidence in the institution of governance. Your Excellency, we plead that you bring to an end the public attacks on the judiciary, where there is a suspicion of corruption against the judge. Let the proper procedure be followed.
The policies that he is implementing are hurting Kenyans. The policies he's implementing is causing an outcry of Kenyans from all walks of life. The people are saying their payslips have been raided in a way that has never been seen before. And our call to him is that in times like this, he needs to listen to the people. He needs to change the course so that the pain that people are expressing then comes to an end.
And the Cabinet Minister for Agriculture, Mithika Linturi, has urged farmers to take their grain produce to the National Cereals and Produce Board for proper storage now that the country has capitalized on food production. Speaking after an inspection at Meru National Cereals and Produce Board depot in Gitibeni area, Meru Town, the CS stated that the national government is distributing grain dryers in all NCPB depots in the country to ensure that grains are aflatoxin-free and at the same time equipping the depots with modern lab technology to measure the level of aflatoxin. Further, CS Linturi said that the government was on the right track on food security and assured Kenyans that prices of food commodities have already begun going down, hence bringing down the cost of living.
We have now commissioned the aflatoxin testing lab. For purposes of elimination of doubt, the aflatoxin testing lab is a facility which we use to test the levels of aflatoxin in our cereals. And for the last 1 year, the ambitious program of distribution of fertilizer in the country, which we believe has been very successful, because out of distribution of around 5.8 million bags of maize in the last 1 year, we were able to produce 61 million bags. We are now again into another phase where we have a target of distributing 12 million bags in the whole country. For one, we are here to tell the people of Meru County and the region that here is a dryer that will now be able to dry your maize so that your maize, once you harvest, because the harvesting season has already started, bring your maize here at NSPB stores. You have your maize and the beans dried at the right moisture level so that it's not contaminated.
Now, the Central Organizations of Trade Union Secretary General, that is Francis Atwoli, says that the Mula Nation will speak in one voice and put their votes in one basket come 2027. Atwoli, accompanied by Lurambi, Member of Parliament, as well as Khwesero, Member of Parliament, and Kiharu, Member of Parliament, Ndindi Nyoro, in a launching of an administration block at Khwesero Girls in Kakamega County. He promised to unite the region for better development in the region. Ndindi Nyoro and other local leaders pledged to unite to serve Kenyans better even before the 2027 general elections.
Wacha watu watembea hapa wanasema nini? Mimi nitakonvini mkutano kama msewa hapa. Watakutana siku moja, wanaenda one meeting na wanasema njia yetu ni hii. And that will be the end. Saa hii nikisema staki serikali ya William Samoei Ruto, he will stop the ministers from working with me. Na wafanyikazi wenu watakuwa exposed and all of them you will see them here. Na kazi zao zitachukuliwa na watu wengine. Na tuna watu katika serikali, we are going to protect them.
When the people unite na wanabomoa misingi ya kikabila na misingi ambayo tunaita rigid static identities, hapo ndio watu wanasika.
The Kenya National Private Security Workers Union and the Private Security Regulatory Authority have identified challenges facing the industry, especially in salaries that employers are paying the guards. Speaking to the media in Nairobi, the Secretary General, Kenya National Private Security Workers Union, Isaac Andabwa, called for a dialogue between the Ministry of Labour and the regulator to come up with a lasting solution. This update comes after the CS for Labour, Florence Bore, noted that the minimum wage of 30,000 is impossible at the moment.
One thing we are saying is that we also have a voice and we also need to be heard so that whatever is coming on our table, we can all agree and sign. But as our chairmen have said, as per now, whatever is being thrown to us, it is not even attainable. Even the police in Kenya are not being paid the money that we are being asked to pay our security guards. They are coming to us to tell us that if that happens, then they will come to be our employees. So if you tell me today that I pay my guard 30,000 and you're not giving me a good excuses, if my
Yes, the declared amount there is 30,000 Kenyan shillings. And we get to a different story here. Hundreds of Kambu Town residents, led by the Assembly representative, took to the streets of Kambu Town, Kambu Golf Club, that is to demand for allocation of about 25 acres of land that they say the club lease has expired. They called upon the governor not to renew the club's lease if they will not set aside the acres demanded. The locals in their protest have urged the governor to come for their aid and allocate 25 acres where they can put a market, school and a toilet, saying in Kirigiti town there has been no public toilet and the traders in the area do not access a proper sanitation from within the private developer's facility. According to Kambu Township MCA, that is Francis Koina, and his Ndumberi ward counterpart, David Chogi, they said that the expansion of Kirigiti needs about 25 acres set aside for expansion of the shopping center.
Kiambu tungewaomba na tunaomba kama tumenyenyekea tukiwa hapa kwa golf club ya Kiambu, tunawaomba na tunaomba hii shamba yetu, kwa vile sisi hatuna choo hapa Kirigiti na hatuna bus station, hatuna soko. Sisi kama wamama tuko na watoto nyumbani, shule moja tu ndio tuko nayo ya Kambu Primary na itoshi watoto wetu. Tunaomba shamba ndio tujengewe shule, tunaomba ndio tujengewe choo na ndio tujengewe hata stage hapa Kirigiti. Gari inagonga wa vijana wetu kila na wakati.
Kwa golf club members tuambie ya kwamba kama lease imeisha na kama tutatumia terms and conditions, tutafuata terms and conditions ambao ni sisi ambao tuko owners of that land. 75 acres ya shamba yetu imewekwa na watu 250. Tukizingatia ni watu wangapi wanataka kusaidika katika Kambu Golf Club, tunataka tufungue uchumi wetu sana sana Kambu sub-county.
And Labour and Social Protection Cabinet Secretary Florence Bore is flagging off Kenyan migrant workers leaving for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Let's now cross over to the National Employment Authority headquarters and listen in.
Ambassadors, we wish you a safe journey, a successful employment period, and a return enriched with valuable experiences. Fly the Kenyan flag high, uphold the values of our nation, and make us proud. Safe travel and make Kenya very proud. Thank you and God bless.
Asanteni sana.
Acha niseme kwa Kiswahili kwamba nimekuja hapa kwa sababu tumepewa kazi na rais, mimi na PS na wale watu ambao wamekaa hapa, kwamba tuhakikishe watoto wetu wameenda kufanya kazi wilaya Saudi Arabia, Canada, Germany. Na nataka kuwapongeza watoto wetu kwa kufanya bidii. Mumesoma, mumepata certificate, mumepata diploma, mumepata degree. Kama mzazi, mimi nawashukuru. Na yangu ninasema kwamba kwa sababu tumeona tuko na shida ya kuwapatia kazi nyinyi wote, kwa sababu tunasema hapa Kenya tuko na graduates wengi, na nikisema graduate ni graduate wa class 8, form 4 and colleges. We can't absorb all of you into the employment opportunities ambazo ziko Kenya. And it is the focus of the Kenya Kwanza government to look for jobs for our youth. Ukituona hapa atulali, Hata kwangu niko na graduates wawili na hawana kazi. So it is not only you who is looking for a job. Even me as a CS for labor, I also want them to tamak like other children. I don't babysit them. I tell them apply like anybody else. And I see. I go back home and I find them. And they've been home for over a year now. And I know among you, mumekaa nyumbani mumetama for more than that 1 year. Wengine 5 years, wengine 10 years. Napata wengine wameshapata TSC number. Ananiambia, tafadhali, wacha niandikwe kabla sijaenda retire. They are already 40, 50, they are approaching 60. It tells you how bad unemployment is. And we have said as a government, we are going to work very hard just to ensure that we get opportunities for our youth. Ningeomba tu, kwa sababu mmepata hii opportunity, like what other speakers have said, be our ambassadors. Go and work hard. When I go out there and meet potential employers, ninawatetea sana. Nasema Wakenya ni wazuri. And I mean it. I've been to Saudi Arabia and I've been served by Filipinos.
Well, all the best to them. We go back to this story that we had read earlier on, and the Kenya National Private Security Workers Union and Private Security Regulatory Authority have identified challenges facing the industry, especially in salaries that employers are paying the guards. Speaking to the media in Nairobi, the Secretary General, that is the Kenya National Private Security Workers Union, Isaac Kandabwa, called for a dialogue between the Ministry of Labour and the regulator to come up with a lasting solution. This update comes after the CS for Labour, Florence Bore, noted that the minimum wage for 30,000 Kenyan shillings is impossible at the moment.
We are going to come up with only a single document to cover the whole industry. That is why we have today appointed a technical team to work around the clock. Within 2 weeks, they will have submitted to us a document that we are going to share with the Fazul, who is the CEO for the regulator, and the CS for Labour. Therefore, I want to assure the workers, wherever they are, I want to assure the employers who are creating employment for us, we don't want to mess the industry. All of us, we must take care of the industry. Therefore, tomorrow is going to be more better than today. What they are asking us, the employees, give us a few time to organize the payroll. At the same time, they want to inform the clients that things have changed. If they are being paid, for example, 20,000, they want now to go for 30,000. So we keep moving forward. And we have said from the word go, we are supporting the changes, the reform agenda, government, 100%.
The push and pull by our government side and also from our side needed a way forward. And therefore we thought by coming together with the union, we can be able to come up together, select a team that we can work with so that we can get the views. Why are people underpaid? Why are people not able to pay 30,000 shillings? Could it be there is a problem from the ground? So we've discussed, we've